Let's make a smoky tumbler, you guys. This customer wanted the 40-ounce hydro handle bottle. I will link where I get all of my stuff down in my description, but I went ahead and started by spray painting my cup, and pretty basic. If you've made tumblers, you probably can skip through this step. But I always make sure I get full coverage, and I go back and do the underside of the lip. If you have a cup like this, you want to make sure you get all the nooks and crannies. The next step is going to be find a candle. This is the only one I could find nearby, and I lit it, and I only lit one side because I really only needed one flame. And then you're also going to need something metal to put over it. I found these scissors, so that's what I used. Typically, all of the black will wash off of the object, but you can use a butter knife or a fork. That typically works pretty good. As you can see, it is causing this black smoke to come off of it. That is where you're going to get your smoky look. So there's really no science behind this, you guys. You basically just go back and forth over the smoke area until you get the desired smoky look you want. I do typically do mine darker just because I like the more dramatic look of it. I will advise that you let these sit overnight. I don't know if there's any science behind this either, but I feel like it sets better if you let it sit overnight and it doesn't smear as easily. These are very easy to get fingerprints on or smear the black areas, so be very careful handling these before you put epoxy on them. I do not use a sealer because I did one time and it messed it up. But here's the temporary tattoo the customer wanted. I got this on Amazon, and I will link it down below. But like I said, be very careful handling this. Don't set it on any surface that you think will smear the smoky area, because this doesn't have epoxy on it yet. And then I just place my tattoo, I center it up and place it, and then I take a damp paper towel and apply it just like I would in a regular temporary tattoo. And make sure you just get it wet to each corner so that it doesn't peel up when you're trying to peel the tattoo off. But yes, when you're handling this, just be very, very careful. I cannot emphasize that enough because I have had cups to get fingerprints on them or smear or scratch, so just be very cautious. But I basically just go all around with a damp paper towel until I think that the tattoo is going to peel up nicely. So once I have gotten it all damp, I carefully peel up one corner and then slowly peel off the rest of the paper to make sure that none of it is going to peel off. And luckily with this one, it didn't try to peel off at all, but if it does, just lay it back down and put some more water on it to dampen it some more so that it sticks. But typically this works like a charm. And guys, look at how seamless tattoo tumblers turn out. I love it. And in the next clip, I kind of messed up. So what I would recommend you do is tape off this lip. If you're working with a tumbler like this that has a lip, tape it off before you spray paint it. I typically do that, but I got excited and I got in a rush and I did not. So I am carefully taping around this lip because I don't want epoxy to cure on that spray paint that is currently on that lip. I am going to go back and take it off with acetone. But I basically just take masking tape and go all the way around the lip and then rip off the edge and seal it like so. Just always make sure to remove the masking tape before you let your epoxy fully cure so that it doesn't get stuck underneath your epoxy. So this is after my first layer of epoxy, and as you can see, I have this white on the lip that I really didn't want, but it happens. So I'm taking this acetone, and well, this is actually nail polish remover, but same difference, and putting it on a paper towel, and I am going to put some elbow grease into this. And let me tell you, it took me a hot minute to get all of this off, so save yourself the trouble and put the masking tape on before you even spray paint. This will save you so much time. But you guys, look at her all cleaned up. I'm going to go in after that and take some rubbing alcohol and clean up the tumbler just because I have my fingerprints all over it. There's some pieces of paint that didn't come off. So I'm going ahead and cleaning it all up before I put another layer of epoxy so that nothing is contaminated and underneath the epoxy that I don't want there. And then again, if you do have a cup with a lip, you want to cover the lip before you epoxy every single time. You don't want a bunch of epoxy to get on that lip and then you have to go back and scrape it off. It's a pain. So just wrap it around with some masking tape and just make sure, like I said before, that you remove it after you're done applying your epoxy, and it should keep 90% of it off of the lip of your cup. And here it is after our final coat of epoxy. I love the way this cup came out. This was my first 40-ounce cup that I've worked on, and I am so happy. I think that the customer is going to love it. I did add that decal like I said before, and then I applied my last coat of epoxy. And please make sure you clean the rims of your cups and everything up before you ship them out to your customers or even for personal use. And like I said before, I will be linking everything that I use for this tumbler down below and where I get my tumblers from. So if you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up and maybe even a comment, and feel free to ask any questions. Thanks for watching.